Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We are here for the Inspiration Foundation Assistive Technology Grant webinar, and we are going to go ahead and get started. Okay, we'll give it just a few more seconds. Welcome. I'm Wendy Himes with VisionServe Alliance. I'm the Director of Membership and Conferences. Also joining us today. Oh, and a fun fact about me, we decided we would add a fun fact because Caitlin added a fun fact. So fun fact about me is I'm a lover of spicy food and adventurous travels, 13 countries and counting. Also here is Helen Chapman, she is VisionServe Alliance's operations director. She makes the wheels on the bus go just beautifully. And for her, she's a busy mom of 10, and she says she'll have hobbies when she retires. And finally joining us is Caitlin Sohn, Inspiration Foundation, the current admin for Inspiration Foundation, and also for Isaac Shapiro. She's also your main point of contact for all things application related, as well as grant reports. And her fun fact is she's a proud cat mom and pickleball novice. So for today, we're going to have the opportunity for information about our upcoming VisionServe Alliance conference, and you'll hear why that's really important in terms of the assistive technology grant. We'll go through the application timeline and important dates with Caitlin, and we'll actually review the application form and make sure you understand all the specific information that is being asked. And we'll have time for your questions and answers at the end of our short webinar today. If you have questions during the webinar, go ahead and type them into the Q&A, and we'll either answer them as they come in or we'll get to them at the end for sure. Okay.
Hello.
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Caitlin.
I was just going to say hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to have you here. I'm going to go over some of the key dates with you later, but Wendy is going to go ahead and jump in about the conference.
Excellent. So our assistive technology grants, the winners will be announced at the VisionServe Alliance conference this spring. And the dates for this year's conference are April 28th through May 1st. Yes, that is a Monday through Thursday. And the location for this year's conference is the beautiful sunny Scottsdale, Arizona. I guess we all wish we were there right now. So the conference, if you've not been to a VisionServe Alliance conference, it's a really excellent opportunity for professional networking and meeting other leaders who are active in the BVI community. You'll have lots of opportunities to attend presentations by subject matter experts and other leaders in the field, as well as participate in strategic discussion sessions on many vital topics that are facing our community, such as accessible transportation, the future of vision rehabilitation services, and how you can leverage evidence-based research and data and more. So we'll begin with a keynote and interactive workshop by Colin McLetchie, a very well-known speaker on adapting to change. And he has really made a name for himself on using the principles from the leadership circle, specifically on helping teams manage change and not just succeed, but flourish with change. You'll also have the opportunity to attend a beautiful awards presentation for VisionServe Alliance's annual awards, along with the Assistive Technology Awards, which will be just lovely. And experience networking activities along with the beauty of Old Town Scottsdale, which is known for its history, its great shopping, restaurants, and spas. So you can read all about the agenda on the link on the screen, and I'm sure Helen can probably put that link into the chat as well, so you can read and get registered to attend the conference. So besides the Assistive Technology Grant, which is amazing, we also have a very generous conference scholarship that's currently available. And you can read about that also on the annual awards page on VisionServe Alliance's website. this conference scholarship will cover not only your registration, but 3 nights of your hotel. So it's only for members. So we hope you'll definitely consider applying for a conference scholarship as well.
Oh, that was great. Thank you so much, Wendy. I even learned a few things there. So it's great to have you all here. Like we mentioned earlier, my name is Caitlin. I'm going to be your main point of contact for all things, tech grant related. And to kick things off, we're going to go down some important timeline and the timeline and some important dates for you to know about. Obviously, the first one is this call today. So, like I said, very glad to have you, and I'm excited to go through the rest of the process. March 3rd is going to be our deadline for grant applications. So, if you are thinking of submitting one, please do so by that time. We will announce who has been selected. Our winners will be contacted on March 19th. So that gives you kind of like from now to then a little bit of time to get in your application. And then if you are selected, you will be required to attend the conference because we would love to meet you and we'd love to kind of like, hear more about you, hear more about what you have planned to do with the plan for the grant. And so if that's something on your radar, the last day to register for the conference will be March 31st. So if you are selected as a winner, you'll have to register by then. And then the conference will be April 28th through May 1st. So, and we're very excited to meet all of our winners. So, and then we're going to pull up the grant application form and kind of review it together. So, this top part, we've got our criteria here. I'm going to, you'll see that the deadlines for the applications are again stated here at the top of the application in case you have any questions or can't find that information. As far as the criteria goes, this grant is for nonprofits providing tech training that enhance employment opportunities of students who are blind, low vision, or deafblind. The maximum amount that you can request for this grant is $5,000. It's currently open to all VisionServe Alliance nonprofit members only, so it's exclusive to that. And then, like I mentioned earlier, applicants agree that if they are awarded the grant, they're going to attend the conference this year in 2025. You'll meet with a representative of the inspiration team, probably me. And we'll probably create a quick testimonial of you to use, in our marketing. So make sure you're okay with that if you apply. And then if you are awarded a grant, you must submit proof of purchase of your equipment within 3 months from receipt of the grant, and then fill out an impact report and have that information into us by December 1st of 2025. You also agree to create awareness about inspiration or tech grants or Inspiration Foundation tech grants, providing, proof of publicity of your award on your agency's website, social media channels, and newsletter. Further details will be provided to you if you are selected. And then prior grant winners are eligible for this year's grant, but you will need to submit an updated report by the deadline. So, and then after that, we're going to kind of go into some clerical details here that you'll need to submit. You'll need to have your executive director or CEO's first name and last name, the best email to list that we can reach you at. If you do have a grant manager name, you'll list it here, as well as your organization name, your EIN or BN number, your street address, and that includes, any sort of apartment numbers, any sort of additional information there, country, city, state, region, postal code, as well as the number of tech students in your most fiscal year, and your number of blind and visually impaired individuals that you serve in your community. Now, this is the fun part. This is where you will put in the amount requested, as well as what you're requesting to purchase with the grant. And then we've kind of got a short answer portion down here at the bottom, where we kind of just would like you to elaborate on why you need the equipment, what you're going to do once you get the equipment, what it's going to be used for, how you're going to be able to gear the grant and the equipment that you buy to enhancing employment outcomes for your students. I would say that this is something that we're particularly passionate about. So maybe spend a little extra time on this answer because it's something we're very gung-ho about. And then if you had an unlimited budget, how would you improve your adaptive technology programs and services? Um, as well, and this is optional. The equipment quote is optional. You can either get, get a quote from a vendor or kind of like come up with one yourself. But that is an optional thing that you can submit, but you do not have to. It's not required. So once you've got all that information, you can go ahead and submit, and we will continually review your applications until the selection date on March 19th.
Here we go. Okay, so when you come to the VSA website, VisionServeAlliance.org, across the top navigation, you'll have there's a leadership tab, and underneath that leadership tab, you'll see the 2025 annual awards. And included in that annual awards section are, of course, all of our annual awards, but then down towards the bottom, the Inspiration Foundation Assistive Technology Grant. And if you select that, you can get to the application by going here. We'll also be sending it out to you as well. Again, it's gone out a couple of times, but we'll send it to you just so you have it at the top of your inbox. There's also a registration link for the conference, as well as this webinar will be posted. Currently, it's our webinar from last year. Much of the same information, so not a lot has changed. So if you wanted to watch that before I get this other one up, that's fine too. And then there's also a list of previous winners from all of the previous years that we have given out this award.
We have had one question come in. It's a good question from Carla. So the population being trained has to be students in high school or college and university.
I believe, and this may be something that I have to get back with Isaac about, who is my other counterpart for the Inspiration Foundation. But I believe in past we haven't required it. Wendy, Helen, feel free to jump in here if you have any insight that you'd like to provide. But I would have to go back and probably double check on that for us.
That would be great if you have any
Mhm.
clarification on that. I know
Yeah.
I've gotten this question before, and my
Mm,
understanding of this grant is that it is not age limited,
right.
according to your clients. I mean,
Right.
preparing students, children, it starts early, right? You have to prepare
Yes,
people for all those
definitely.
literacy skills. So
Hmm.
that's generally how I answer that question, that it is not
Okay.
age limited by clients, but please do get
Yeah.
clarification on that for us, like Caitlin.
I would say that that is my understanding as well. But if, if there's anything that we need to communicate out that goes in contrary to that, I'll be sure that we communicate that out.
Since there were no questions, Caitlin, it's Jason Eckert. So I'm just identifying, actually, the question just popped up that I can see. I was just identifying that I think we're confirming that if it is, as long as it is an employment-related program, if there are adults that are seeking employment in some type of vocational program and the computer equipment is used for those adults, then that should be fine. As well as if it was younger kids that we thought it was a skill connected to their vocational rehabilitation, that also would be fine. And I think that answers Carla's question. So older adults qualify, or no? And I believe the answer to that question would be yes, older adults qualify provided there's some type of vocational need and the computer is assisting them in your computer lab, or your computer equipment is assisting them in achieving that vocational need or goal. And then I'll ask another one, Caitlin, if I can put you on the spot a little bit. Is
Of
there a
course.
criteria that you can highlight? You mentioned that VisionServe Alliance membership, VisionServe Alliance
Hmm.
not-for-profit agencies. In the criteria section, is there anything else, just because we have a little bit of time, that we could pluck out that agencies might want to know? Um,
Absolutely. I think that the selection committee this year, with particular emphasis on Isaac, who is the founder of Inspiration, he's really focused on on question 4 here, down at the bottom for the short answer here. Uh, I believe enhancing employment outcomes for students, or just, whoever is going to be receiving the grant. He's really focused on making sure that we are enhancing employment outcomes for those that this grant serves. So I would definitely take some special attention to that. Other than that, and did that answer your question, Jason?
I think so. Just that
Okay.
again, it would be, you'd want people to highlight that the computer
Hmm.
equipment will be used for
Yep.
something related to employment. So again, I'll say that
Yep.
It would enhance their employment outcome if a cluster of people were using the computer for resume development or to surf the internet to find job leads that they may apply to, or to learn how to enhance their keyboarding speed, or how to
Yes.
enhance their Microsoft Word skills, or
Mhm.
their Microsoft Excel skills,
Yep.
in the name of employment. And I'm using a traditional computer. It might be something else that the agency might purchase that would enhance in a different way. Perhaps it's a travel-related software
Mhm.
or a travel-related hardware, or scheduling software, something of that nature. That, again, as long as that question is answered in detail, would suffice.
Yep. I think that'll be a key selection criteria for the grant, from my understanding. People were very gung ho about that this year. So I think those are all great examples of how to highlight that.
And I think I would also encourage people too, just from previous years, to include that equipment quote if if it's possible. I know that there sometimes are questions about a particular, type of equipment or software that you are wanting to use that, Inspiration Foundation might not be familiar with. So including that extra detail, I think would be really helpful for them.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that as well. I think that'd be great to
And
see
Helen,
have
we had
highlighted.
another question here about, are there character limits for these answer fields?
There are not.
So go for it, everybody.
Wordy. If you run into a character limit, there should not be one on there. But if you do happen to have a character limit, hit that you want to submit something else, you can always just contact me and send it to me directly, and I can make sure it goes with your application. Not a problem.
Let's see, any other questions here?
I don't see any other questions coming in.
If we have a lull, I'll make a push and I'll ask Wendy to correct me if I am wrong, or Caitlin too, that in previous years it has been sort of a mixed bag with how many people have applied and then for making the grant competitive or less competitive. So in some years, I believe the grant has been quite competitive, and in other years, I believe the grant has been not as competitive. So I say that to say we just don't know how many applicants will apply. So we are really encouraging people to apply. Don't think, oh, there's this nuance here that I may not make it, and it's probably very competitive, therefore I will not do it. I know that it enhances it for everybody if we have a robust application pool to select from. Also, I will say when it comes to funding, foundations, when they get a lot of applications, even if they can't award the applications, the number of applications that they get prove that the grant is successful, and it actually helps them to allocate more money for grants like this in the future. So again, it might seem strange, but you're really doing your part for this grant to grow if you send in an application and that you don't get selected. A large application number means that you can go back to a board of directors and say, we can only give out 10 and we got 19,750. Can't we apply more money to this to meet some of the need in the following year? That's a gross exaggeration. But if all VSA agencies applied for this grant and we had 150 applicants, I am positive we would be able to generate more money for the grant next year. If we only get 30 applicants, we would have much less of an argument to do so. So again, I'm going to encourage people to please apply and give the Inspiration Foundation a lot of strong applications to look through and make their choice.
And we have another question from Dana Smith. She's asking, does the equipment have to be given to the student?
Not from my understanding, I don't believe it does. I think our main focus is going to be that piece toward enhancing employment outcomes. So,
And a lot of these equipment requests are for, items in a classroom. They're not given to the student directly. They're used for the teaching of many people. Yeah. Or people have asked for a Braille embosser, and that's of course going to stay in your office. That's all acceptable.
I believe Joni Bauer had a question as well. I've allowed people to talk, so speak up if you prefer to ask your question verbally.
And Jason, to your earlier point, I do believe that there is already some discussion amongst folks at the Inspiration Foundation about how we can potentially either increase the amount of grants that we can give or how we can kind of grow um, these grants. So like Jason said, please feel free to apply and give us your best applications. We are very eager to read them, and we are very eager to see how we can help you guys. So
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you all very much for being here, and thank you, Inspiration Foundation, for supporting VisionServe Alliance member agencies. We really appreciate all the help that you have given to so many of our member agencies over the years, and also to all of their clients in advancing assistive technology programs across the country and in Canada. I know we've had a recipient in Canada as well.
you're very welcome. It's our pleasure.